everybody. Welcome back to the Clintonville Slasher. Happy Saturday. It's the first Saturday of the month. I would like to talk to you about this 80s banger, The Burbs. This cast is amazing. So Carrie Fisher, Tom Hanks, fucking Corey Feldman, amongst many, many others. Now, the story starts off with Tom Hanks playing this guy named Ray. Now, Ray is on vacation. He lives in the suburbs, obviously, and he's got some wacky neighbors. And there's this house that is right next to Ray's. Everybody's house in this neighborhood is, their lawns are taken care of. They're everybody's friendly with everybody. Everybody knows everybody about everything. They just know each other. But the house right next to him, there's a family called the Clovicks who just moved in about a month prior, but they haven't taken care of their lawn. They haven't really met anybody, and they're just, crazy. Now, Ray's got this wacky neighbor across the next door named Art. Now, Art is just this goofy guy that likes to, butt in on a conversation, drinks way too much beer. He's just one of those guys that is just kind of goofy. And across the street, Mr. Rumsfeld is a war veteran, and him and his wife live across the street, and then Corey Feldman lives next door to them. And down the street is Walter, and Walter is this kind of pristine guy that lets his dog crap on Rumsfeld grass. Now, over the time, Art is convinced that these guys, that the Clovicks that live next door to Ray, are, grave diggers. They're digging up bodies. They're doing weird shit over there. And one night, Ray and Art and Mr. Rumsfeld are sitting across the street with a high-powered magnifying glass, and this explosion happens in their basement. And all of a sudden, after there's this big thunderstorm that happens, and it shoots out a bolt of lightning. And about a few minutes later, a car comes down the street with one of the Clovickses. The guy named Hans. He picks up this trash bag that looks like a body. It's super heavy. Dumps it in the trash. He smacks it with a shovel, and then he goes back inside. This big rainstorm happens. The next day, they all get up. So they all get up and find out that the garbage men have taken the garbage, and they don't know where it is. So the other guys, they're digging through the trash looking for this dead body that they think they have, and they can't find it. But meanwhile, Rumsfeld's wife finds Queenie, Walter's dog, and she's really dirty and disheveled. And so they go over to Walter's house, and Walter's gone, and it looks like a struggle. Now, they are convinced that the Clovickses, that night, they're convinced that the Clovickses are these bad people, except for Ray. Ray still thinks that, they're just all being nuts. They go into Walter's house, they break a few things, they find his toupee, and, he's like, we got to get out of here. So he's still convinced that, he's still got a level head. And so they end up trying to go out and meeting the Clovickses, because that night, Ray is looking out the window and seeing that there's 3 people outside in his backyard, and they're digging graves. And so that's what it looks like. And so Ray's wife tells him that he is, you need to stop. You need to just take vacation. He tries to take it easy. And that's when Art comes over, and Ray's dog finds like a femur bone. And so they're all convinced. They go over there, they meet the Clovickses, and they're just convinced that there is this, that they're like these weird people doing science experiments and stuff like that, and I have to say that this movie is super hilarious. I like one of my favorite parts is that where Art comes over in the morning, and he's eating all of Ray's food, and Carrie Fisher walks by with a bowl, and Ray grabs the bowl, and whatever's in the bowl starts eating it. It turns out to be dog food. I lose it at that part. I also love the little hat tips. You've got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, what Ray's watching TV's he's flipping through channels. He sees The Exorcist, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm like, I don't know what channel you're watching, but that seems pretty sweet. I think it's super funny, especially the ending where they're convinced, because when they go over there, Ray lets out opens up the basement door, and this dog comes running out, big Scooby-Doo looking dog, and he finds Walter's toupee. So they're convinced now that they're killing people. They killed Walter. They threw him in this giant furnace. So they said, Ray's like, I'm going over there and I'm not coming out till I find a dead body. So they start digging and they end up accidentally blowing up the Klovics' house because he's got this like really big kill machine. And it turns out at the end, they really are fucking serial killers and they are really like digging up bodies and doing experiments on them. So, but this movie is super funny. It is like an 80s classic. I mean, the cast in it alone is fucking amazing. So if you guys have never seen this film, I strongly suggest checking it out. I might have ruined it for you, but I'm pretty sure all my audience, everybody out there that watches my shows already seen this. And I saw it on TV. I was flipping the channels and I said, oh shit, the Burbs is on Tubi. I was like, I better, and my wife said, oh, you better watch that before, before it leaves. And I was like, fuck, okay, well, I'm gonna check it out. So I checked it out and I hadn't seen it in a very, very long time. So I loved it. If you guys are new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe, stay horror, have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Later days. And check out the Burbs.